Wacky Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
Good evening. Good evening. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday. Welcome to another edition of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. We're live here in the Wacky Wednesday studio here back in my home of San Antonio, Texas. Wacky Wednesday took a little tour. We took a little tour last week, and we were in Alice, Texas. But we're back in the studio, and I've been excited all week, just because I've flipped the script a little bit, I should say, right? Just a little bit. I flipped the script. I've been on a big Tejano conjunto. I don't know. Those have been the artists that I've had lately on the show, and it was probably about a month ago. I did a show. I emceed an event in Beeville, Texas, and it was a Armed Forces Day. And when I was there, my guest tonight was actually on the bill, and he played, and I was just in awe, man. I was like, wow. And then to know that he's a veteran, and we kind of chewed the same dirt a little bit, made it just that much more freaking sweeter, man. So again, if you guys are joining us for the first time, my name is Bumper Gomez, and you're watching Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. It's a live podcast that we do every single Wednesday right here on Facebook Live. I've been doing it for over a year. Every Wednesday at 7:30. You never know what you're going to get. And tonight, you're in for a great, great treat, for sure. You're in for a great treat. And the reason I say you're in for a great treat, man, is because my buddy Joey Morin, one of the sponsors tonight, Joe's Hat Company, hit me up. He's like, bro, I like that you're diversifying. That's the word.
I saw that.
You're diversifying your show a little bit. And that's good, man. That's good. The show's not just about music. It's about life. And tonight, I think you're really going to get a good mixture of music and somebody's path in life. Not in such a sense where it's just about music. It's about somebody's life and their ups and downs. So again, tonight, my guest here in the Wacky Wednesday studio is none other than Mr. Bradley Lindsley.
People say I'm no good, crazy as a loon, 'cause I get stoned in the morning, drunk in the afternoon. Kinda like that old blue tick hound laying around in the shade. I ain't got no money, damn sure got it made, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, you can leave this long-haired country boy alone. The preacher man talking on TV, putting down the rock and roll, wants me to send a donation, worried about my soul. And Jesus walked on water, and I know that's true. Sometimes I think that preacher man do a little walking too, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, you can leave this long-haired country boy alone. The poor girl wants to marry, rich girl wants to flirt. The rich man goes to college, bumper goes to work. I'm kind of a drunkard wants another drink of wine. Politician wants to vote, and I don't want much of nothing at all. We'll take another toke, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, you can leave this Nell, Texas boy alone. If you don't like the way I'm living, you can leave this long-haired country boy alone. Yeah, come on.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. That was freaking awesome.
It's my favorite song.
Dude, the lyrics fit you perfectly,
Yeah.
Bradley, perfectly.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear me say Bradley, I asked him, I said, hey, bro, do you like to be called Brad? He said, no, bro, Bradley. I'm like, oh,
With the L-E-Y.
With the L-E-Y, man. So, again, if you're just joining us, man, my guest tonight is Mr. Bradley Lindsley. He is a honky-tonk musician who is every weekend he's booked. He's busy. I follow him on Facebook, and I just love to see that he's like all over Texas, man. And you know, restaurants, bars and grills, you know, cantinas. If you have a place for this guy to play, he's there.
I get in where I fit in every time on time. Guaranteed. Hey, it's all over but the crying dog.
I hear you. So, you know, as I was, me and Bradley's been here for a little bit, and we've been having some deep conversation. And, you know, I was just like, man, in the back of my mind, I didn't tell him, but I was like, man, it's going to make for some great content for tonight's show. You know, lately I've been talking to, you know, with other musicians in a whole different, I'm not going to say a whole different genre, right? Because it's really not that different. It's just a different language. The twang is still there. And most people who listen to Tejano music, they love country music. And something about Bradley, and those of you that are watching from my family from Florida, friends from California, New York, if you're tuning in, you're going to find this very, very weird. It's not weird to us here in South Texas, not at all. But it might be a little bit weird to you. And what I mean is, like, when you hear him talk, I think his normal accent, if he was to pick up a phone and call you, I don't think that you would think that the guy is Caucasian or white. Like you wouldn't get that vibe.
I'm Weddle. Yeah, I'm Weddle for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't get that vibe. And that's something here in South Texas, man, that, you know, I've met so many people, so many friends that, you know, when my wife moved here from Florida, she's like, are you sure that guy's white? Yeah. I said, well, he grew up around a bunch of Mexicans. What do you think? Like they're not faking the funk. That's them. That's just So Bradley, where did you grow up here in South Texas, man?
So first off, hi mom. I always wanted to, hello mother. So I'm from Corpus, Corpitos, El Charco.
361.
Yes, 361. I was born in Spahn Hospital. Yes, and then in '96 I moved to Three Rivers, and I ended up finishing out my high school there. So I'm all South Texas all the time.
You're a bulldog.
Yeah, you know it. We are TR.
So you grew up here in South Texas, mm-hmm. and, you know, like I'm saying to the fans, like I love speaking to him because he knows both sides. I'll put it to you like this. It's easy for me to put it this way. You know both sides of the tracks. Mm-hmm. This guy is, have you guys ever heard the song by Michael Salgado, Honky Tonks and Cantinas? This guy is a prime example of honky tonks and cantinas. Like, straight up, the guy is at home at either one of them. He doesn't care. I mean, yes, he plays country music, but he can dance the music. You know, he loves the culture.
You didn't want to see me on that dance floor. I'm telling you, I'll break hearts out there.
You know what, Bradley? I would say culture, but you know what? It's part of your culture too, bro, because you grew up here.
Yes. No, my mother and father, the way I was raised, you know, I'm blessed. You know, I had the greatest parents in the whole world. And I tell you, the way I was raised is that you're kind to everyone. You don't see someone, you see everyone. And so it just came natural to me because the way I was raised, it just so happens, that like you said, I'm good in the barrio and I'm good in the trailer park. I mean, that's just the way it goes, dog. I got friends everywhere. I mean, I'm good. But that comes from the Lindsley, the way Lindsley's get down. My father's watching right now, my hero. You tell the truth all the time, not sometime, not that time, all the time. And when you do that, no matter where you go, you're good every hood spot. I mean, that's just the way it is.
If you're just honest.
Yes, but be careful what you ask, because you're gonna get it 100 every time. But I'd rather be wrong for saying the truth than to be right for lying.
Got you. Hey, another one. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. To the people who watch every single week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't adjust your screen. Yes, I've had some of my Marines. They're like, we really watch your shows, bro, but once you start doing dibble dabbling in some Spanish, you kind of lose us. No. It's cool. Like I get it. That's not their cup of tea. So tonight's different, man. Tonight's different. If you have kids in the military, if you're a veteran yourself, if you have nieces and nephews or whatever, I think tonight we're gonna touch a little bit on the military lifestyle, what it can do to you, and also yes, the accordion is a cooler. It acts as a cooler as well. There's a magic cooler behind
Mom,
you.
look to the left. It's going right over here.
But no, man. So, like I was saying, Bradley, we chewed some of the same dirt, so we kind of connected in that sense. And he said something earlier that I thought it was really funny, and I want to bring it to the show. Is that he's like, man, your brothers really don't like me. And I said, my brothers really don't like you? What the hell do you mean my brothers don't really like you? You don't even know my brothers. And he goes, no, bro, like as soon as I say I'm Air Force to a bunch of Marines, all hell breaks loose. Chair force, dude, get the fuck out of here. Whatever, whatever the case may be. But I don't see people that way, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, you sign the dotted line regardless of service.
That is a fact.
But we do have inter-service rivalry. That's a guarantee. Marines. We get picked on for, everybody thinks we're dumb and all we know how to do is shoot a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Crayons.
And we eat crayons. Like, I mean, that's what other service members think of us.
We're the worst to each other.
Yeah.
And the thing I love the most is no matter what branch you're in, we're the worst to each other. But whenever it comes to someone else, we're united. And that's what I like the most. Is that if the world was to turn around and present themselves against this Marine and this airman, we would be brothers. I mean, so it's all good.
Yeah,
so
no, definitely.
A little bit.
When we get on that plane or that boat or however the hell you get to wherever we're going, once we hit, and as long as it says United States, U.S. on that name tape somewhere, we're on the same team. And the military and the military life kind of affects people differently, man. And I look at it like this, Bradley. Some people say, oh, that guy, he was in the Navy. And I've been this way. I'm being, this is Wacky Wednesday. I'm really real with what I say.
Please, I've done it too.
So, I see somebody Air Force or Navy. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, this is what I used to do. When I used to drive around and I would see like disabled veteran on a if you don't know, here in Texas, if you have any kind of disability in the military, they give you a DV. If you see those two letters together anywhere on a license plate, it stands for disabled veteran. Mm-hmm. So I used to see disabled veteran and then the Air Force logo, or disabled veteran and Air Force, because then if I would see a Navy, I'd be like, oh, he has to be a corpsman. You know what I mean? Like a Navy corpsman. And I would think to myself, how in the freak is this guy, like, what'd he do? And I forget that disabilities just don't happen in combat.
Man, Bumper, you said a mouthful right there. So I used to do the same thing. I mean, one of the biggest things I used to struggle with is that because I only had one tour and I was mainly in Kuwait, and I would compare myself to you and to other people. So like, you know, when I got out of the military and started struggling, I was like, no, I shouldn't be feeling this way because I didn't do anything.
Gotcha.
I mean, shame, guilt, remorse. And, you know, and that's not real. That's not real. When you dive into what trauma is, that basis alone makes it false, because basically, no, you're good, bro. When you go through a traumatic event, whether you were in a wreck, you got blown up, or something happened to you in a different way, your brain processed that memory incorrectly in the wrong file. So the reason why it keeps coming up is because it was processed wrong. So that alone disproves that. But like I said earlier, we're the worst on each other. And sometimes we're our own worst enemy. But, you know, anybody that feels that way, it's better, I've found, and what I've learned is it's better to pray and forgive than go to war with one of your brothers.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. And the longer I've been in this community in San Antonio, man, San Antonio, for if you don't know, San Antonio's nickname is Military City USA. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's nicknamed Military City USA is because almost all the branches here are one way or the other, they're here in San Antonio. Marine Corps being the smallest. We are the smallest branch, but the Marine Corps is the smallest here in San Antonio area. There's not I think we have like 4th Recon is like a reservist thing here. But the Navy trains here. All their medical people come here. You know, all the Air Force medical people are here, and then all the Air Force bases with all the jets and whatnot. Hey, get comfortable, bro.
No, I'm just sitting here like, what's really going on over here, Bumper?
So, hey, before I forget, yes, my shirt. Shout out to my girl, Miss Di Marie, for hooking me up with this cool shirt. I really appreciate it. I told her it was going to make its debut tonight. So, Di Marie, thank you for the shirt. And if you guys, you can look her up on iTunes, on all the digital platforms. Look up Di Marie. She has beautiful, beautiful music. Shout out to Di Marie.
Di Marie.
Yeah.
I love you and I think of you.
She sings beautifully, bro. Beautifully. But Bradley, what I wanted to bring to attention, dude, is that you have your struggles, you know, and we all do. You know, this is not something that here on Wacky Wednesday, I kind of try to keep it uplifting and stuff, but sometimes it's good to talk about real shit. And PTSD is some real shit. And PTSD is not just people that came back from combat. I mean, PTSD can happen to you driving down the street in a car accident. You know what I mean? It's post-traumatic stress disorder. So, you know, it can happen in all kinds of forms. And I think it just gets a bad name. Not that it gets a bad name, but people just automatically...
Complacent?
They get complacent and it automatically assume PTSD, combat veteran.
No,
you know?
Exactly. PTSD, war. Yeah, but I mean... It couldn't be any further from the truth. And like I said, we need to get away, you know, and we need to get away from labeling, you know, PTSD in just combat tours or PTSD and military or police. I mean, there's 100 other ways, but it's easily dispersed when you look at it as the medical facts. Something happened to you that was traumatic. So your brain or body, however it happened, it in-processed it in your files cognitively and appropriate. That's why it keeps trying to get out of
Bradley,
it.
Hold up, dog. This is Wacky Wednesday. Don't start using those fucking big-ass words, cognitivity and shit like that.
You know, I mean,
what's wrong with this guy,
No,
bro?
I mean, I literally spent, before I went to the VA and got help, I literally spent years trying to beat it because they said no. This is for life. And I compared myself to like guys like you know, if you didn't know, 7 combat tours right here. I mean, that is significant. So, I mean, that's the way I thought. Like, okay, well, Bumper's still here. what am I even talking about? Like that's, I'm a bitch, I'm crying on the couch and, homeboy is over here still going, but that couldn't be any further from the truth. And whenever someone actually goes out there and does the research, that's because there's people out there that are saving lives, that are educating. You're not dumb if you think that way. You're just misinformed. True. And when you go out there and find the education, it's mind blowing.
Oh, definitely.
Brum, 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 brum. I mean, that type.
I just, people deal with shit in different ways, man. Mm-hmm. And tonight you're gonna hear Bradley's story, man. I'm gonna pick at him. I'm gonna put his ass in the corner.
Hell yeah.
Canelo
Nobody
style.
puts baby in a corner.
I'm gonna put him in the corner like Canelo and throw some left hooks, some uppercuts, and we're gonna try to bust this guy like a piñata. But
I like that.
You like it?
I love challenge extended
go,
and accepted.
And we're gonna get to hear his great voice and great music for sure.
Oh.
But Bradley, first, dude, let me thank you, dude, for being the first Texas country, and I put Texas in front of country, and I hope you don't mind that.
Hell no.
But I find that very there is a difference for my people out of state. There is other country music besides what you hear on the country radio stations.
Oh,
other than Texas.
That was a good ploy right there.
And he is a Texas country artist, and again, we're gonna get to hear him. There's some songs that I want to hear him sing. And you just gotta hear his diversity, man. He'll really show his South Texas. I'll put it to you like that. You'll really see the South Texas boy come out and in his music. But a big point that I want to talk about tonight is just his journey, right? Because Bumpers Wacky Wednesday is really about people's journey, people's life, and how they got to where they're at today. Because in life, people's life is not straight. It's not a straight path. And if you had a straight path, bro, you're probably what we consider a square.
My parents are laughing right now. I guarantee it.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Your parents are laughing because your road probably has some U-turn, some figure eights,
D,
all kinds of stuff like that. But that's what makes life great, man. What makes life great is that life is a roller coaster, dude. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs. And then during that roller coaster ride, you decide to make a hard left or a hard right, and you decide to raise that right hand and join a service. And then the country asks you to go do something which you probably I'll take that back because I've said this before. I have mad respect for men and women who signed that dotted line to serve their country in any service after 9/11. If you have a son or a daughter, a brother, sister, niece, nephew, cousin, whatever, and they joined after 9/11 up till now, till maybe just a couple of weeks ago, you need to I have mad respect for those people. And the reason I have mad respect for those people is because they're signing something knowing what is out there. When I signed in the early 90s, there wasn't shit going on. I mean, Go Forward just finished. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, hey, man, I want to get out of Beeville and I want to do something with myself. And the Marine Corps called and I went. Best thing I could have ever done for myself. But, there was nothing going on. There was no war. And after 9/11, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, I mean, you name it. Those are just things that you see in the news. You don't even see half the shit that we're doing anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So again, hats off to anybody who's a veteran and actually, even if you didn't sign, you know what I mean? But it's just, I just got another little, when you signed after 9/11.
Dynamics there.
You know what I'm saying? I really think that people don't really see that sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, Mijo, he's joining the Air Force. And then you have that old cousin or tío in your family, right? That like he served probably like 4 years in Vietnam. Shit, he ain't not gonna. He going to the Air Force. He gonna be in San Antonio. Ain't shit gonna happen to that. Boy,
no,
right?
and that's another. I mean, Bumper.
It's a misconception.
You're on fire because what's reality is when you get into the military and you start learning knowledge, everybody has their role. And the Marines have to be there in that foxhole. The Army has to be in a little better one. Maybe they got a little rock for a pillow. And the Air Force, up until when I got in, was in charge of air base defense. So you had a base to get back to. Everybody has to do and stay in their lane.
You bring up a great point, Bradley. And I've had my friend Maricela. She's a principal at a school, and every year she asked me to come and talk to kids from ages from like 2nd grade to 6th grade, and she's like, "I just need you to explain what a Marine is."
Oh,
dude, do you know how hard it is to explain? Because most I would say 4th graders to 6th grades, dude, they'll draw you pictures, and it's like tanks, guns. I play video games, like it's I don't even know the name of the video games that kids play nowadays, but that's war, realistic. It's very real.
Call of Duty
or whatever. All those SOCOM, all those damn.
I used
things.
to own dudes.
So that's their version of a Marine, right? Or the version of a military. So what I would do, man, to simplify things, and it might help you out. I'll do it really quickly here. I would take 6 kids, and I'd be like, "You give me 6 volunteers." The kids, right? The kids are in the military. They know military. You don't raise your hand, but in the classroom, kids are like, "Oh yeah, me. Come here." I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I said, "You're walking around Iraq. Bam! I just shot you."
He's spitting pearls right now, by the way.
Right.
I'm serious.
So I said, "Fall down. You have to get him out of here." "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, how's he going to get out of here? He needs a truck. He needs a helicopter. That's the only way you're going to get him out of here. Right? But what happens if he falls and the helicopter that you wanted to pick him up is not working? How do you fix it?"
Critical thinking.
Right? And then you go back. Well, the guy fixing it, he's been working 15 hours and now he's running out of energy. He needs to eat. That's where you come into play. You're a cook. You see what I'm saying? I kind of like diversified and kind of just show how everybody needs one another. At the end of the day, yes, the bottom line is that trigger puller who's in the ground, in the dirt. He's the guy out front. You know what I mean? And that's what most Americans see. But you don't see all it takes to make sure that guy is, one, taken care of 100% of the way. Is he going to live like shit? Hell yeah. Straight up. Sucks. Right? The guy back over here that's going to fix a helicopter, is he going to live a little more lavishly? Yes. But, he's got to fix that helicopter. It's going to eventually help the guy. That was just an easy way.
That's a solid point. I just had this conversation the other day and just rationalize it a different way. Personalities. Depending on your personality is what branch you need to go to. And if you go to the wrong one, you are not going to succeed. If you put a Marine personality in the Air Force, where it's Air Force a little less supervision, a little more 9 to 5-ish, you put a Marine over there, he's not going to do well.
At all.
You put an Air Force guy in that location and they're like, "Hey, read this to see how you go there." Well, I can see it. Wait, I don't even read the book. But that's what it is. It's just a simple personality thing. But the bottom line is, we can't have 100 bumpers. We can't have 100 Lindsleys. We have to have one of everything. And the same thing he brought up earlier, diversity. We have to have all of us together, because without that, we ain't shit. Hello, Pete.
For sure. And those of you that are tuning in, like, man, these guys are talking military. I thought he had a country artist. Hey, I got a country artist. He's here. He's a guitarist here.
Redneck as hell.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm leading into stuff that I've gone through, that my brothers in arms have gone through, and
there's
then
a bunch watching right now.
It's tough, man, because I see these movies, right? And sometimes the movies are very, there's a few, and they're not ringing a bell right now, but there's a few movies that I've seen that are pretty realistic. They're pretty on point as far as...
Zero Dark 30 is pretty on point.
and what I mean by on point, I mean the coming home part, the wife part, the kids part. Oof. That's the shit that people don't talk about, right? You Americans, regular citizens, civilians. You see the TikTok videos, you see the YouTube videos of the kid graduating and his dad coming out from behind the thing in his uniform, and oh my God, welcome home.
You getting me riled up over here. I like it.
You see those over and over again. You go to a football game, and before the game starts, they put the dad saying hi from wherever, he's in Iraq somewhere, and the family's on the 50-yard line. Then all of a sudden he runs out. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I tear up too. My eyes sweat too. Every time. But realistically, what happens after that? What happens when they leave the stadium with 150,000 screaming people, proud to be Americans and stuff, and he gets home and the door shuts and life starts.
And you have to turn it off.
And that is the piece that we want to touch a little bit on today, because believe it or not, that part of Bradley's life, it comes out in his music.
Yes, it does.
And we're gonna hear some of those songs, and some of the lyrics to some of his songs they're pretty like
dark,
a la chingada, like
in your face,
like, you know what I mean, like wow,
get us way, right here.
So yes, before I forget, I am wearing a puro pinche Texas hat. Shout out.
I like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe's Hat Company down in South Texas. Look them up, Joe's Hat Company, joeshatco.com. You can find all these caps.
Are you talking about Morin?
Joey Morin. This is his hat company.
Hey, Three Rivers, Live Oak County, stand up. This man's from George West. I was talking to him earlier. So he added me on Facebook. And he messaged me, and I was looking. I said, "Babe, Morin, is this your kinfolk?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." Well, Tio Lucio, shout out, Live Oak County Restaurant and Grill. That's his first cousin. He lives in George West.
You see what I mean?
I adopted Lucio like 3 years ago. So now I told him, I said, "Well, hell, we're practically cousins." So I mean, small world.
That's it, baby. That's it. But shout out to Joe's Hat Company for my hat. And tonight I will be giving away one of Joe's hat company. So make sure you guys tune in. We will be giving away one of these hats to a viewer tonight, and courtesy of Joe's Hat Company. So make sure you guys tune in. You want to see it close up. He wants to see my hat close up.
Who does?
I don't know. Can you not? I don't know.
Puro pinche Cowboys or Texas.
It says Puro pinche Texas.
I was thinking about Cowboys. I'm a Cowboy fan.
So Wacky Wednesday, man. We jump all over the place. Welcome to the show. We're back on. My guest tonight is Mr. Bradley Lindsley, honky tonk Texas country artist and a veteran.
Yeah.
And we're talking about everything tonight. Yeah. So as we were talking, Bradley. So in your time in the military, when you get out, again, like I said, I don't think some of the movies portray this part. It always cuts out on the movie always ends when
I know exactly what you're
when
about
the soldier and the Marine or the airman or the Coast Guard or Coastie.
I know exactly what you're about to ask, Pupper.
They come home, and the movie always ends when they reunite with their family. That's it. You're good, right?
So they say.
But you don't see that 6 months later, that family that was standing in the 50-yard line is down at the freaking local courthouse getting a freaking divorce.
Yep. I got two of them, matter of fact.
Two.
No, but I know exactly what you're about to ask. And I've been asked this before by some mutual friends we talked about earlier. And this is what he asked me. The guy, he runs a veteran recovery out of Florida. And I played for some disabled vets at Empire Ranch in Tilden. And he said, Bradley, what was the worst thing about getting out of the military? I said, I lost my identity. I was Staff Sergeant Lindsley. And you get home and you ain't no more. Well, see, that's the thing that, I didn't know. They didn't, whether I didn't know because there's people out there that they didn't have a problem with it. But I'm not you. I'm me. And when I got home and basically, whether it was metaphorically or verbally asked to turn it off, why? Why? This is who I am. And so that shock right there, and then added on what I was already doing, working at working at a federal penitentiary. So you had to be clear about that, for 13 years. So you take that, because I can end the suspense. I wasn't blown up. I didn't shoot nobody. I didn't kill nobody. None of that. That's not my journey. But when you add in the mentality, I took that to heart. I gave everything to them, to our country. And when I got home, it was taken from me and it ruined my life. And then you add in things that were going on at the prison, watching people peel their skin off. And, you know, it was basically a recipe for disaster. But that's no excuse. We can do this. I can't do it alone. I could do it with you. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, and every veteran has a different story, man. I've had my buddy Gallegos on here. Gallegos was a Marine combat vet. He got his arm blown off in Afghanistan. But if you follow the guy on social media, the good thing about it, you know, the great thing is I love following him on social media, because every day that dude gets up and he fucking moving forward. Like
that's
he's always doing something. And
awesome.
but that's social media. That's social media. You don't see the part when you come home and you're not on social media, you're not taking a picture, you're not, and shit comes back to you, or you think, you know, all this shit bombards on you and it becomes a bomb in your life.
Yes.
Reason he's been divorced twice.
No, but here's the other thing that that people, well, I would say just people are misinformed. That, I mean, we're talking about us. We're protectors. You know, whether we had to learn it or you already knew it, however we got the info, us two were solid. However, my mother and father had watched this destruction. My daughter, my significant other, my friends. That is more, to me, more devastating to anything. Like, I've literally been in a room with me and my father. This we're going to talk about this later, I imagine. I've been in a mental health improvement room in front of a whole group of people, just me and my dad. And they said, they had him tell me how I broke his heart. And we went back and forth for a while. It was one of the single greatest things in my life.
So you were in a room with your peers.
Yes,
and your dad, and you had to open up.
Yes, it forced.
Fuck, bro.
I'm telling you, I've seen my dad. My dad is the real life version of Superman. This man is everything I've wanted to be, am gonna be, and couldn't be all at the same time.
Gotcha.
And I've never seen him up until maybe like 2 or 3 times. And this, I mean, it put us, you know, man, hey, power. I mean, the whole room. You're talking killers, cold killers in the room. Everybody hugging, bawling, crying, moving in the right direction to get away from the number 22. I mean, that's fantastic.
And when you hear Bradley talk about the 22 that we're talking about is, you know, every single day here in the United States, 22 veterans take their own lives for whatever case may be. 22 veterans, that's 22 people every single day. So if you guys, maybe you're not up to date with, you know, with military lingo and stuff, but when you see people say, remember 22, for the 22, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about 22 service members, some even still on active duty. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, veterans who can, you know, who took their own life because, you know, they did I like to say they did a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Mm-hmm. But for people, Bradley, so my problems could be so minor to somebody else, but to me they're major.
Yes,
everybody's different. Yes. You know, and I've said this plenty of times. You know, like everybody's, you know, my issue could be something just like, God damn it, I can't pay my water bill this month. To some people, they'd be like, "It's your fucking water bill, bro." Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Go do something. Go cut a yard, whatever.
Yeah.
You know. But for some people, the world's going to shut down because they can't pay that water bill on time. Mm-hmm. But who the hell are me, to think otherwise?
Coach
you know what I'm saying?
said it. Cast no stones.
So you know, I think that's kind of where we can relate, dude. That's where we can talk about the PTSD thing and stuff like that. But going back to you, Bradley. So you get out of the military, bro. You just told me you've gone through 2 wives. And again, going back to what I was saying about, you know, wives, they don't. This is the part that you don't see in the movies. This is and some have. There's some movies that really come back and they really focus on it. I've seen some. They're usually like B-rated movies, right? Like Amazon Prime kind of movies that are free, you know. And you know what? Lately, I've been finding myself watching these, and some are pretty good. Some of the movies hit it right on the dot. They just don't have big time actors in it, so they don't get the airplay that they deserve. And Bradley, when you got out, you know, the story begins, right? The story begins that, you know, this, you know, 24, 25-year-old guy who thinks he knows everything. He's crossed the pond. He's been in the Middle East. You know, he's done some dirt. You know what I'm saying? Living in the sand, living in the heat, living in the cold. And now he comes back and you try to be normal. Just like you said earlier. That's what it is. You know, for civilian people who don't understand, being normal is fucking hard.
I do not possess that trait.
Being normal is so difficult, man. It's so difficult that you take it for granted.
Yes.
The normal everyday human being takes it for granted. Being normal, getting up, making sure you got your hot coffee before your breakfast.
Like you, Bumper.
You know what I mean? That's normal.
That's a win for us.
Yeah, getting your briefcase, and we can sit back and be like, "Shit, dog, that, bro. What else do you want?"
Right there. That's a win right there.
You know what I mean? That's not the way that I saw life after the Marine Corps, and I'm sure that's where you came from. You didn't see life the same.
No.
Once you leave in the military, you didn't see how.
I didn't understand none of you people. I'm talking about civilians. I don't understand your mentality, nothing. I succeeded at work, was the man, rookie of the year, right off the jump, promotions, everything. Didn't even know how to talk to my daughter when I came home. I mean, ¿qué está pasando? I mean, that's not normal. So, you know, you get asked that famous question, we'll just stop. Oh, you know, it just doesn't happen. So for us, I feel I can say for us, I mean,
no, you're good.
You're speaking a lot of my heart right now. Totality is too much. I did good today. We'll worry about tomorrow when we wake up.
I can relate to everything that you're saying, and we both can feed off of one another. But you know, I've had my kids on the show, man. I did one show. You can go back on YouTube on my YouTube channel, Bumper Gomez. You know, man, dude, I'm not even giving us any justice, bro. Nobody knows who the hell we are. There it is.
Bumper Gomez.
You know, my kids. I just posted the other day on Instagram. Something this simple, and those of you that are watching, just kind of sit back, relax, and grasp what the hell I'm trying to tell you, or what Bradley's trying to tell you. So
let's lace you up a little bit.
So my wife was in a meeting, a church meeting, and she's like, "Hey, we're on this side of town. Do you mind taking me to church?" I said, "Man, sure. We'll sit in the car and we'll play on the phones and just talk." Well, guess what happens? Your phone dies.
Well, that's
so now Bumper is on the clock, right? Like, oh, now you got to be now you have nothing to distract you guys. So now it's me and my 6-year-old son.
Whoa.
And he's been going to summer camp, and we just started talking, and I realized that if you don't know, Bumper Gomez from Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, they have 8 children, and they range from the ages of 30 all the way down to 6. So you can't give me no bullshit on kids and parenting and shit, because I've been there, done that.
Congratulations on your fertility.
Every kid is different, right? But what I'm trying to get is that there was something hit me as I was sitting there talking to my 6-year-old son, having a conversation, a deep conversation. For him, it was a deep conversation about his day and about, what he did at summer camp. When we were done talking and he kind of just mellowed out a little bit, it hit me that, I didn't have that relationship with any of my other 7 children.
Ooh.
Not one. I didn't have that interaction. I was a Marine. I came home. I took my boots off. You take your boots off thinking, okay, I'm normal again, but you're really not. Your mentality of yelling at people, you want shit done instantly. Everybody needs to obey at exactly the time that you tell them to do it. Like you that becomes who you are. And it hurts me. It hurts me as a veteran. And I don't mean to be taking the show back to me, but I just I want people to understand.
You're doing a great job.
I want people to understand that those things that some people take for granted every day, picking up your son, coming home, having your son run to the door to greet his dad, to greet his mom, right? Those things don't take for granted, man.
Yeah.
Because that little moment, those little 35 minutes that I spend with him in conversation, just about anything.
No, it's phenomenal.
For me, I just felt like, and I wrote a post. It's like we took a little selfie, and I just wrote something like, I'm sad that I didn't get to spend, the time that I get to spend with him, because I've been with him since he was came out. Like, I've never left his side, and so we have like a different relationship. And sometimes I think I see my older kids. They kind of look at me. And if they're watching, I don't know. They're here actually in the house right now. But I wonder if they're like, God damn, Dad, where was this guy? Where was this guy when I was 6 years old, 10 years? And I choke up because it's real. I'm being real with you. Those are things that the movies don't talk about. Those are the things.
And kids know. Kids' external senses, their intuition, their empath ability is bar none. And the fact that they can tune in to you and say, Daddy, are you okay? I mean, those are things that a grown adult or your best friend of 25 years won't ask you.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's crazy. I mean,
it's true.
My daughter, Kyla, hello, Kyla, she's watching. I love you, mi amor, in my heart. That is one of probably it is the best thing I've ever done, is to make that daughter come to life. And the thing I love most she's 12 now. And you're talking about a daddy that has made significant amount of mistakes, and she's seen them. And still every day, that little girl, she's watching right now, she thinks that I am Superman. I can't do no wrong. I mean, I've even heard people say, like, she stood up in chingazos when they say daddy and they say something negatively. She's got she draws that line right there.
Got your back.
I mean, straight up. And I mean, you can't put a price on that. And those are the things that we need to engage in. And like what I want to go back to, what you brought up, distractions, avoidance. That's something we do instantly. Finances is the number one thing, matter of fact. And what I always do, since getting back from my journey, I've had a lot of my friends say, they want to do better, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically. And I always tell them, the first challenge I give them is, next time you drive to Corpus, that's an hour away, drive there with your radio off.
Think about that.
Just you, the road, and whatever your higher power is, just do it. And they're like, well, I can't. Well, can't do anything. Try it. That is when you brought up, I was saying, you're spitting pearls, man. I like that.
No, dude, what you just said right now. I mean, how many people can drive to the goddamn 7-Eleven and not put on their phone, not like look at their phone or play some music, or it's distractions. You do everything. You do everything but look at yourself.
That was a task that I was given by a man that saved my life. Bruce Cooper is his name. It was the first task he given me. The second one, as soon as you get out of bed, hit your knees. Humble yourself before something. It doesn't matter if that's the light bulb right there. Something. Because as you know, for a man to get on his knees, that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do, to humble yourself every morning and every night. And he told me, if you do it for 2 weeks, you will see significant improvement. And I bucked. I bucked for about a week. I'd come and see him, and I'd tell him, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't need that. Da, da, da. Well, it wasn't getting any better, so I started doing it. And guess what? He was right.
Whatever your higher power is.
It don't matter what. It could be the tree. It don't matter. Humble yourself before something.
I'm with you 100%, dude, because if it wasn't for the Lord, man, on my transition out of the Marine Corps, I found a certain group of individuals. I found a new Catholic church. We were new to San Antonio. Just everything fell into place. Like the Lord's like, you know what, dude? You giving so much to this is the way I see it. You giving so much to your country. You've lost so much with your family. You lost so much of not being around your kids growing up. Bam. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
And he just put people in my life at the right moments in time.
I met Bumper for a reason.
We've been saying that. We've definitely been saying that.
It's crazy.
So you speak of going to this place. Let's talk about how you got to this place. So when you get out and you, as you heard Bradley say earlier, like he gets out and he's struggling. You know, you might see the smile. You might come home and say, "Hey, husband, wife, we got this new employee. He just got out of the Air Force. Cool guy, great, always smiling, always happy. But what happens when he comes home?"
That's a real, and I'm glad you brought that. Real easy explanation. I was very successful in chaos. I failed in peace and love. I could escort and diffuse 400 people fighting, but I couldn't talk to my wife. That is inappropriate and not supposed to happen. So I continued that behavior, and it went to pot. But one thing I've always possessed is self-accountability. In the military made better. So I said, after a while, significant failures, I said, I want to change. So I went and found it.
And it's just like if you had, somebody with a drug or alcohol, it's the same thing. You have to, the first thing is that you have to admit it. You have to believe that what their people are telling you that's wrong with you, you believe in it. And I don't think if you don't accept that, then you're just gonna do 360. You're just gonna keep going in a circle.
It can,
And speaking to Bradley, he fell rock bottom.
Oh yeah.
You lose your kids, you lose your wife, you lose everything. And you're losing it. It's your fault. It's my fault. It's the service member's fault because he can't cope with everyday living. Right. And then it starts affecting finances. It starts affecting romance. It starts affecting everything. And you don't see it because you know what? Fuck you. You don't understand what happened to me. You don't understand what I've seen. You don't understand who I am. You never have. You never will. I could give a shit. Do whatever the hell you want. That's the mentality that people have. Right. Because that's all we know. It's black and white. Like there's no fucking gray area. Mm-mm. But in life, it's full of gray area. Not everything is going to be black and white. Not everything's going to be open a TM and say, okay, if this shit doesn't work, you do this. If that doesn't work, you do this.
Yeah.
That's not life. But when you're in the military, sometimes that becomes you. You become this black and white person. There's no gray area, and you don't stand for bullshit. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. You either you can do it or you can't. That's simple. So you hit rock bottom, bro. You know, you divorce. What do you get into? I mean.
So I remember like it was yesterday. I went to work. So what started happening was what happened right before what I'm about to talk about is I was sitting in my recliner one day, and it felt like I had a heater on my back. I mean, I was sitting there. I was like, "What the," and then it came over, and like my hand went numb, and I was like, "What the?" And I mean, it went all the way up my face, everything. It was what I know now is an anxiety attack. I didn't know. I had to call one of my brothers, actually, Andy Amaro. I hope he's watching. He's a pastor, mentor, brother. I had to call him. He showed up, and my whole body, my feet were locked in like this. My hands, I couldn't breathe. And he just held me and prayed and prayed and prayed over me, and it went away. So I thought that was it. Well, I kept pressing forward. Well, I went to work one day in the penitentiary, and I had another one. And the thing is, when you have an anxiety attack, it just happens. You can't control it, nothing. I had to have inmates pick me up and call on the radio for people. I mean, you're talking worst case scenario. And I reached my hand up this way, and Tom Spooner and Warrior's Heart grabbed it. Period.
Mr. Warner picks you up. Spooner, right?
Yes, Tom Spooner.
Tom Spooner. Shout out to Tom if he's watching it, and if he's not, I'm sure he's going to watch this. Later
for sure.
on.
That's a brother right there.
He runs a nonprofit that, what is it?
Warrior's Heart.
Warrior's Heart.
State of the art. I mean, one of a kind facility in Bend, Texas. They're working to establish one in Fort Bragg, and it's for veterans, active duty reserve, first responders that have traumatic PTSD and or alcohol and substance abuse. They're doing amazing things.
So Bradley, you fell to that.
Yes.
That substance abuse, to cope with
Yes.
your family not
All of
working and you transitioning to trying to be a normal person, which I said earlier is hard as shit to do. And to my friends that are watching that are like on that verge of, they got a couple of years or they're about to get out, be ready.
I'm telling you.
Be ready, mofo.
It is better to like we were taught, it's better to have a contingency plan. I mean, there's guys, I've met guys. I can think of one right now that is, I think he's about to go on 6. Bronze Star, my hero, Bradley Dusick, my brother right there. He seems fine. And all I've suggested is just be aware. And because not everybody has the same story I do. Like, for example, Warrior's Heart was one. But if it wasn't for my mother and father, the first time when I hit bottom, next thing I know, my dad's at my door. Sitting right next to, you got it takes a village.
For a parent, and that's one that doesn't ever get touched, honestly.
No.
A Gold Star mom.
They take the brunt.
But Gold Star mom, a Gold Star father. When you hear Gold Star mom, Gold Star father for any civilians, that means they've had a son or daughter killed in the military, and they become a Gold Star father, Gold Star mother.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And I'll tell you, one of the hardest things I've ever done was actually face, one of my Marines that got killed in combat, and to actually see their family face to face, because it's different.
Terrible.
It's different. Like, somebody dies. Somebody comes and picks them up. They take them. It's not the movies, man. We don't jump on the fucking plane with them and come back and bury them, then go back to combat. It doesn't happen that way. You got a mission to do. Like, okay, you have your little issue there, and then you would do like a memorial service there or something, and they come back, and you don't get to meet the family till you come home, and facing a mother. I've said this before, man. I would rather get shot at 1,000,000 times.
We just talked about this.
Than to look at a mother's eyes and see the tail, or a dad and hear his voice crack up, because you are the last people that their flesh and blood was with, you know. So that's difficult, you know. But going back to you, and you found it into alcohol was taking away whatever pain that you were going through.
It was more than that. I mean, I'm drinking a beer right now. I mean, it's more than that. And that's the great thing. You've heard me talk about God, and I can hear the chisme from here. Well, how can you? Hey, God died for me, the sinner. I mean, like, this is a work in progress. You can still be healthy and do the right thing and still have mistakes. And that was the main thing I didn't understand. And that's really what my journey has done for me. Because some people, it don't work. Some people have to be 100% this way all the time. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm about 4 beers short of a 6-pack. Mentally, I like to have a good time. So, when it comes to that, that's what I've chosen. I've chosen out loud that I want to do this life. But mental health improvement, all the time, you got to.
Man, I'm digging the hell out of this show right now. Like, literally, I'm in my realm right now. Like, talking family, military, ups and downs. Like, this.
Let me tell you a thing that's really gonna just crazy. The fact that you've had this show for how long?
Over a year.
Has this conversation ever happened?
No,
I'm talking. Has this conversation?
No, this conversation.
No, not at all.
No.
But it is now because it was supposed to. The reason why, we don't know, but we let it happen. That's why I'm so happy you're doing this, and I'm such a supporter that you let things flow. Like everything he's asking me, I had no idea, but I told him the day we talked, I'm an open book. I'm willing to say whatever, whenever. Just be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, be careful. Definitely be careful what you ask for. And Bradley, you said some of your takes on life is expressed in music.
Oh yeah,
right. And then being you were at the excuse me again, what was
Warriors
it? Warriors Heart for 7 months. That's a long time.
Yes, that's a significant amount of time.
Where he was getting better mentally, physically, and spiritually. Mentally, physically, and spiritually.
I got baptized again when I was there.
I mean, where did you're around probably majority 95% probably men, right? Who have chewed dirt, the same dirt you have, and have done killers. They've done way more. And let me tell you, man, most people who are in that realm, if I'm not gonna say everybody because I don't want to build a box, but I'm gonna fucking say it anyway.
Yeah, say it.
Most people who talk about that kind of shit, they ain't shit.
They ain't shit. They ain't
the people that you got to really scratch your head about is the people who just like, hey man, how you doing? Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. Cool. I was in there. Yeah. Those are the people, like, if something happens, those are the people that you want to be around. Because that guy who's sitting there saying this, and this, probably full of shit, to be honest with you. I'm just, that's my opinion. But I don't know, Bradley.
Everybody I've met, whether it's, and this relates to music, when we start talking about music here in a minute, and whether it's Tom Spooner, who one of the best operators the military's ever seen for a decade, everybody that's about it is respectful, kind, and humble. Every single one of them.
Yep.
I've never met someone that's established, successful when it comes to what we're talking about be any other way.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I've had, like I said, back to Corporal Gallegos from the Marine Corps, humble kid. Like his motto is "Si se puede." So, shout out to Sebastian Gallegos if he's watching him. He might watch later. He follows his Hispanic culture, and his is "Si se puede." Like, I'm getting up. I don't got a fucking arm, but I'm gonna get up. And he's working out every day. He's running every day. He's always just trying to find a way to mentally better himself.
No, I'm telling you. I hope my brother right now is watching. He outran me for 3 miles. Like whenever we had PT there, I told you, it's all about that life at Warriors Heart. We were doing PT, and I was like, "You ever been outrun with somebody with a trach in their neck?"
No,
I have.
God.
This man passed me. This man passed me with a trach in his neck. Ran like a 19-minute 3 mile, and I was like, "Hold up, man, wait, stretch real quick." I mean, no, I'm telling you, like, I mean, it's all that, but no, it's great. It's good stuff. That's a good talk.
No, yeah,
Cool story,
definitely.
bro. I like it.
Hey, shout out to let's see. I usually don't go to comments, but I'm gonna go to comments tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sappers, to Ed Warner. Shout out to Ed Warner, one of my sponsors, USA Police. Ed, I hope you're still watching. His little brother is a sapper, or was a sapper in the Army. Shout out to all the veterans, man. To anybody watching, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. They'll probably just kick back and be like, "Fuck yeah!" Now there's somebody really talking about. That's really how I feel. So, who knows? We might do a deeper conversation one day.
I'm telling you.
Maybe with a panel of with some veterans, and talk about these are the things that you don't get to see or you don't hear about,
Or don't get said out loud.
but. The people who are watching to freaking listen to Bradley Lindsley sing some goddamn music, I know they're watching too. So, Bradley, what's up, dude? Let's.
I mean, you want a song? Well,
Yeah, let's do a typical South Texas fucking honky tonk song. Whatever you want to sing. I'm not very what do you call it on names of music, especially country music, but whatever you want to sing, man.
Okay. Typical. Well, there ain't nothing typical about what I got going on, but I'll play one of the songs you like.
Yeah, let's do it.
I knew the stakes were high right from the start. When she dealt cards, I dealt my heart. And I just found a game that I can't play. This is where cowboy rides away, and my heart is sinking like dead setting sun, sitting on things I wish I'd done. It's time to say goodbye to yesterday. This is where cowboy rides away. We've been in and out, living in between, and now it plays final showdown scene. And as the credits roll, sad song starts to play. This is where cowboy rides away, and my heart is sinking like dead setting sun, setting on things I wish I'd done. In that last goodbye, hardest one to say. This is where cowboy rides away. Oh, that last goodbye, hardest one to say. This is where cowboy rides away. That's one of Bumper's favorite songs right there, he said.
Shit, if you're watching at my funeral, that song better be played. That's for sure, man. I've loved that song, man, since I was, what is it, knee high to a grasshopper, man.
Yeah.
That's just a beautiful song, man. A beautiful. If you've never heard that song, then I don't know what rock you've been hiding under. But George Strait, "Cowboy Rides Away," the lyrics are just, it's one of those songs that you can kind of like take. You can take it in.
That's a banger.
No, but you can adjust the lyric. Like the lyrics can mean different. In different parts of life. It could mean death. It could mean leaving a woman. Yeah, you can kind of do all that. And that was a George Strait song. That's a typical honky tonk song. But this guy right here, bro, he has some stuff.
I get outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, man. And you heard me earlier in the show when I was talking about when you hear one of his songs, you might sit back and be like, God dang, bro, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're getting in there. We're in your face.
But the song, that's what comes out.
Yes. His
life journey has brought him to the song, and I can really relate to the song. The name of the song is I don't want to do. We're gonna save that one for the end.
Yeah.
I was like, say that. Wait a minute. Don't do it, Bumper. Don't freaking.
We're getting off topic right now. Bumper Gomez.
No. So, to bring a little laughter to the show, as I said earlier, I don't know if you guys can hear in this goddamn accent, but he's not, he's not a real country twangy kind of dude. He's a typical. He's a typical white guy from South Texas.
It depends on the words. I say "oh." There ain't no doubt about that. Or, or why, bye. But more times than not, it's just gonna, you're gonna get it the way you need it. Period. That's just the way it is. Three Rivers. Well, it's not even that. You can put me in a great scenario, and I'm still in the right way, and I'm still going to be the left way. That's just the way it is.
I got you. We have a comment that just caught my eye. It says, "Not judging, okay? Please drop some of the language. I could listen to you guys all day." I'm sorry.
Mom,
if
I love you, Mom, Mother.
That's her? Cindy,
who is it?
Cindy Neiman.
No, but if she said that,
she's watching.
If she said that, then my mother feels the same way. I'm sorry, Mom. My mom. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about the language. It is a live show. It's not censored.
We will do better.
I will try to do better.
Going forward, we will say
freaking
food. Fudge.
There you go, fudge. But no, man, you I saw that you were at K&E.
Yeah,
which is shout out to K&E, Ernest and Kristen down there in Beeville, Texas. If you're in the Beeville, Texas area and you love Cajun food, you got to try the boudin balls. Yes, I said it right.
About that.
You got to try the boudin, dude. His boudin, Ernest. I don't know whoever makes them, whatever cook.
It ain't Ernest,
dude. The boudin balls are off
Ernest
the
ain't making nothing.
They're off the chain. So definitely, if you're in the Beeville, Texas area, stop at K&E's. It is I promise you, it is one of the most beautifulest. Is that a word? Beautifulest?
No, I'm telling you, that's a redneck
word. Well, it's one of the most beautifulest restaurants that I've ever been in.
It's great. It's very romantical.
It's there you go. It used to be a old English or like a dog and bee.
I've never been in there.
London pub.
They don't like my kind over there.
Yeah, but now it
Kristen and Ernest do.
So shout out to Ernest and Kristen and to Toby. If you don't know, if you visit the restaurant, it is haunted.
It is Toby. I sang a song for Toby,
bro. I'm telling you right now. You go to YouTube and look up K&E Beeville, Texas, and you'll see the videos. Literally overnight of like a straight up heavy whiskey glass being thrown across the bar with nobody near it. Like it's pretty eerie. And they every time I go, Ernest has a new story for me. So he's just very, very. He's not a typical restaurant owner. He comes out and he speaks to the people, make sure, him and Kristen, the staff is great, cool. And the food is freaking amazing. So, again, let's see, who else is on here? Shout out to Mr. Thomas Wright, sounding good.
Hey, that's actually Thomas Wright. That's a brother right there. He's the owner of several radio stations up there in Dallas. The ones we were talking.
There you go.
No,
Mr. Wright, how you doing, sir?
He's great. We met at the Texas Internet Radio Chart Awards. And no, that's a brother right there. We're actually about to do some big things up in
DFW?
Maybe the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Metroplex. You got to call it
Texas
Metroplex.
Homegrown Radio, Bourbon Trail Radio, Texas Red Rock Radio. Thomas Wright's your man.
There you go. And that's the Dallas Metroplex.
Yeah.
I like saying that, the Metroplex.
No, it sounds date night. It sounds like that little infomercial they have on 99.5 all the time.
So again, you playing. We got off track with K&E, right?
We got squirrels
but you
here.
played that. No. So it was weird. This is how this stuff works. It's called networking. Check this out. I saw a post there at K&E. Kristen had posted like, "Hey, we're looking for some people that have a band or they want to play live music for our patrons that come to the restaurant, and they wanted to start doing live music." So they didn't just like. This is the cool thing about them. Because if I would have been a restaurant owner, I'd be like, I want live music. Hey, man, I don't give a crap who it is. Just give me somebody with a guitar, a microphone, and they can sing, have a good.
That's not how
and they show up. So these people didn't do that. Like, hey, we're gonna have an audition.
Can't do that.
And we're gonna pick, who plays. And as soon as I saw that post, I tagged Bradley, and there's like, dude, check it. And I tagged him, and she's like, okay, well, we'll get with them. He went. Bam! He killed it. He was there last week.
Well, so back it up.
Let's back it up.
So Matt Muniz, one of my sponsors, 90 Transport. Big shout out to him. Hey, what's up, brother? Tagged me in there, and Bumper was right behind him. They both tagged in at the same time as hey, hit my boy Bradley up. So I appreciated that. Well, I messaged Kristen, and how that went. Bar owners can be kind of finicky when they don't know you, and for good reason. I mean, it's all fun and games till you put a bum up there. I mean, that can get pretty awkward. So when we were talking back and forth after, Matt Muniz and Bumper right here put me on, it was the language was more maybe and, well, we'll see, and let me look you up. And I said, hey, bet, we don't got to do none of that. I'll be there Monday. What time you open? She said 3. I said, I'll be there with my guitar. Proof's in the pudding. I'll show you. So I did. And here we are. And then when we went to K&E.
See, that's the difference. That's a non-veteran to me would have been like, okay, well, he's like, nah, hell no. I'm going to be there. And I'm going to show you what I got.
We don't got to do all this maybe, darling. I mean, I can get it on time every time.
Heck yeah.
Right there. And then whenever we showed up last week, I mean, we rocked the house. I mean, people were jamming, eating, drinking, having a good time, and Tip Jar did a backflip and a belly flop. I mean, that's good stuff.
That brings me to, well, let me just put this point out before I give the mic back to Bradley. Hey, when you see these independent artists out there busting their butt, if it's a karaoke night and one guy has the mic all night, whatever the case may be, these guys are giving their heart and soul, man. This is what they love to do.
Yes.
We spend $3, $4. I don't know how much a beer is at K&E, but you spend a couple of bucks on a beer. What's it going to hurt you to get up, walk over, and just put a couple of bucks in that tip jar? You know why? Because they're giving you everything they have, so you can just their heart and soul, so you can have a little bit of entertainment and get away from the everyday life. I was hoping he wouldn't do that, but he did it. It's all right.
I can put it back on. That's what she said. Got him. Boom, roasted.
No, man, and it was when you called and told me, and you said, "Man, I blew the house." I was like, "Man, great. That was awesome."
But we can't blow the house without you. That's the thing. It's a mutual relationship. I mean, there's guys out there right now. Like, off the top of my head, J.R. Herrera, Hill Country Revival, Chuck Weimer. I mean, there's guys out there right now. I mean, they have stopped their full-time job for this life. And I mean, if you knew how much it meant for a quarter to be put in a little jar, or If you knew how much that meant, I mean, I promise you, it would just melt your heart. And so I can be as good as I want, play, sing, all that. I can't do it without you. This is a crowd-driven industry. And unless you say, I cannot succeed. So get on my side. Love me. Be sweet to me.
No, man, for real. If you see, like, I mean, you go out to somewhere, you have lunch or whatever, you see a guy out there with a guitar. I see him here in San Antonio all the time. The other day, we went out for Mother's Day to a beer garden, and there was a guy out there, and literally they put his ass right in the sun.
Yeah.
Like, there was no shade, and the dude did not stop. He did not move. He didn't ask for a canopy. He played his heart out, you know. And I think I went and dropped like $10 in his tip jar, just because. And you know what? I didn't even dig the music, but just the fact that he was standing in the sun playing music for background.
That's a very vulnerable spot. Like, we talked about this. We've already talked about so many. I mean, if the camera would have started rolling back then, you'd have got a lot of good stuff too. I would rather be back working in a 400-person riot at a federal penitentiary than learn again how to stand on stage in front of you. That is the most vulnerable spot and a different type of courage. It is extremely difficult.
For some people.
Everyone. You just get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you went the first time the mortar hit the ground, and then you what?
Yeah. You
got used to it.
It becomes
you get
used to the noise. You get used to your surroundings. It's anything. But there is some people, man, who could just go up, get a mic. They could be a million people, and they ain't bothered by it. I've seen it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Now I can.
But the more I've interviewed musicians, I've come to find out that, you know, if you're not nervous, whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people, if you're not nervous, then you don't love what you do.
I get nervous every single time.
You know, and bringing up musician and music and being how you make your living. Mm-hmm. I got invited Monday night. My buddy, shout out to my buddy Joey Jimenez, Joey Jams. He's a drummer for a Tejano group, Grupo Macizo. Him and Isaías Ramirez, they invited me to go and hang out on the studio and watch him record. And, you know, the only time I've ever really seen studio stuff is my favorite movie, La Bamba. And if you don't know it's my favorite movie, you can, well, if
we already dropped, I dropped some earlier.
You know what I mean? So, you know, the scene where Bob is in there and Richie Valens is just singing over and over and over and over again. And then, you know, well, Bob King says, 100 takes, man. How's the voice? And Bob says, man, I didn't hear a difference in one of them. That's how I felt the other night. But it really opened my eyes to the music industry on how much work it takes to make one song that you just take for granted. Hey, it sounds badass. It sounds cool. But you don't really understand how many takes it takes to make it that way. And the guy who's, you know, the engineer there, the producer there, you know, how they cut and they're like, do it again. Or you know, one little thing that your ear doesn't catch. This is their livelihood. This is what they do. They know it. They catch it. It's this little small details that to a regular normal listener of music, no matter what genre, you wouldn't pick it up. But to a musician, they're like, shit, man, that sounded like crap. You know what I mean? I got to go back. Hey, rewind it to here. Boom. Let me. So shout out to them. I spent, dude, almost 4 hours in there, and they worked on one song, and it was just a piece. So, you know, it really opened my eyes to what you guys do. Like it's not all standing on the side of the stage and some guy announces them and they come up and people are cheering and clapping and they leave and they give them a big old check. Does that happen? Yes. But to get to there, it's a lot of work, man. It really is. You know, and I think musicians don't, I don't think they're respected in the work sense. You know what I mean? Because you get the whole like, well, it's
you just get the guy sitting up there. You know what I mean? No, I mean, but no, I'm telling you, that's a mouthful right there. Like I remember Uncle Mike and Becky. That's the first time. That was 6 years ago. First time I ever pulled out my guitar, and I knew like 2 songs. And shortly after that, you know, my sponsor, Matt Muniz and Nino, I was playing at his house, knew like 5. You know, so that went on for a while, you know, and poor your friends and your family, your mother, your dad, your significant other, they got to hear it over and over and over and over and over. And then eventually it gets to the point where you get better, you get better, you get better. And then that's the real thing that I love the most. There are people out there, and I said a few of their names, Uncle Mike, Aunt Becky, Matt Muniz, Fred, for one, and we'll talk about that here soon. People that told me instantly, they said, look, I understand you're learning, but I see something. And they encourage you to keep going. And then now you look back.
They see the diamond in the rough.
And I hope, you know, Fred and Matt and Uncle Mike and Becky, everybody's watching. You see me now. I mean, like, you were right. And I appreciate that encouragement. Because we're only going, I mean, now that I have the confidence, ain't stopping now. We all in.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So, you know, Bradley, we talked about, you know, your downs, right? You were down and out, and you came back. And we talked a little bit about music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you're from South Texas, bro.
Yeah.
So, since you're from South Texas, I want to put you in a scenario, and I want and
Please and thank you.
This is again putting his ass in the corner,
Not possible.
like Canelo.
Come on with it.
Throw some left hooks here. I'm gonna put you in a scenario, and I want you to get your ass out of it.
All right.
Right. So you show up to a bar, which they tell you is a honky tonk, which is a country bar, right?
Yeah.
But it's in Laredo, Texas.
Okay.
Where the population is 99.9999999% Mexican.
Okay.
Okay. But they love country music, you know what I mean? Just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But maybe they're not vibing. They're not vibing
They see a white boy on stage, they don't know what to think.
You know, and they hear Bradley Lindsay's.
Tell me you're not going to ask me what I would do.
Dude, I want to know. So
I already know the answer.
No, bro. You seen the movie Selena?
Selena's with an S.
That's with an S, right?
This bumper?
Yeah. No.
This bumper? It's going to go on the corner of my garage. Selena's.
No, bro.
bus.
Hey, in the beginning of the movie where the lady's like, we want to dance.
Quiero bailar.
Queremos bailar.
Yeah, no, I remember.
All right, so we're putting you in the corner, bro. You're in South Texas. You're in Laredo somewhere in the valley somewhere, wherever.
Hey.
And you know, people are just like,
My people are watching right now going, watch this shit, Way.
so I want to see what Mr. Bradley Lindsay would do in that corner.
TV, que bien esto mal. Hey, I do this, dude. I'm telling you, I do this. You ain't never met him like me.
Oh, see what I mean? That's what I mean about this guy. Like,
Say,
literally.
Hey, ¿qué está pasando? My name is Bradley. Pero sí o no?
Hey, well, he got semi out of the corner. I'm throwing his ass right back in the corner because I want him to grab the guitar.
Oh,
he's not picking up. He's not picking up what I'm trying to throw down. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But he busted a little bit for me earlier today, and I was like, "Yo, Bradley, you have to do this song." You know what I mean? And for my viewers, because I'm sure my viewers are gonna love this little piece that he does. I just find it to be so freaking.
It's crowd. It's so what I was telling him earlier was I do it anytime I get a point where it looks like the crowd is getting complacent, or maybe I haven't got the energy that I've wanted so far. I'll play a song like this.
So check it out. He's getting his ass out of a corner in a bar somewhere because people ain't paying attention to his ass.
Mm-hmm. It's shock value every single time.
Here goes.
Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only widow. Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Please don't leave me desenmodo. Come on, baby, turn around. Let me see those pretty brown eyes. Don't you know that I love you? Please don't give me this and more though. Hey baby, que pasó? Thought I was your only widow. Hey baby, que pasó? Please don't leave me this and more though. Come on baby, turn around. Let me show you how I feel. Don't you know that I love you? And my corazón is real. Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only widow. Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Won't you give me uno beso? Bumper Gomez. Freddie Fender.
Yo, that was so clean, bro. The Weddle part is just, that fits exactly who you are, man.
Yes.
Heather Folsom?
That's my sister.
Yeah, she says, love you, brother.
I love you too, Heather. That's my sister. That's my big sister.
You got a very unique brother, Heather.
Yeah.
Very unique brother, man. For sure.
I'm getting on your forehead.
No, definitely. Earlier you mentioned Mr. Wright, right? That was his last name?
Yes, Thomas Wright. That's a good brother of mine.
And Texas Internet Radio.
No, he's Texas Red Rock, Bourbon Trail, and Homegrown.
Okay, well, forgive me, Mr. Wright, but you
dibble
dabble.
Texas Internet Radio.
So you work for Texas Internet
Yes,
Radio.
Mark Sebi.
Which brings a lot of artists like yourself, independent artists, where we get to hear them. We get to hear you. You can listen online.
So that's actually sorry about that. Hell of a story. I met Mark Sebi about
real quick. Your daughter said, "Way to go, Dad! It's Kyla."
Oh, see that's why I do it. That little girl loves me. Thank you so much, Kyla. You're the best daughter in the whole world.
There you go, Kyla. That's awesome. Thank you for watching. Sorry about our language, but thank you for watching.
No. See, that's the one thing I don't do. She knows the daddy I am. She knows it 100%, and she loves me for who I'm not.
I got you.
And that is gangster as hell. Whenever you can find someone, I got quite a bit that love me for who I'm not. I mean, that's good stuff. But no, I met Mark Sebi about 3 years ago. When I moved to San Antonio, I was gonna, try to do the city thing. Didn't work very well, but I met Mark through J.R. Herrera, and those two right there. When I met them, I thought I knew everything there is to know, and I found out that they didn't tell me. They put me in scenarios where I figured out that I don't, and so I shut up and listened. And
which is a hard thing to do.
Yes, especially for somebody that likes to talk like me. Yeah. I listened to Mark and JR, and I'm telling you, everything that's happening now, I took a little grain here of salt, little grain here of salt. We threw it in the proverbial toolbox.
There you go. Using big old words again.
Yeah. Well, my mom's the English teacher. I mean, I didn't have a choice. But no, Texas Internet Radio, Mark... he created this, and I watched for a while because I'm a type of guy, like, I don't care about money. I don't care about who what you know. I respect effort, integrity, and loyalty. And I sat back and watched for a while, and man, he was just putting his heart and soul. So I came up with this idea. I called him up one day and I said, "Hey, I'm about to move back home. How about, we extend this?" And he said, "Man, takes a village." Exactly what he told me. Takes a village. And he put me on. And now, not too long ago at Rebecca Creek Distillery, he created this award show. And I don't know if he knew. I definitely didn't know. And I know everybody there didn't because I talked to everyone. Every single, maybe twice. And this thing was
because that's the kind of guy he is.
Yes, Mark Sebi created a radio station that caters to Texas independent country artists either trying to make it, about to make it, or just did. And he sprinkles in 80s, 90s country. We do a
I love Patreon.
patriotic hour every day, all that.
I love 90s and 80s country.
Yes, so do I.
I really fell out of love with country music in the 2000s, and I don't think I ever went back. The only time I really came back, and we were talking about this off the air, the only time I really came back to country music was when I would come visit from California. I'd come to Texas, and my cousins and my younger cousins and my brothers, they were like, bro, you gotta hear Randy Rogers. And I'm like, Randy Rogers.
That's San Antonio Killer, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, Randy, bro, who the hell is that? Like, check it out. So I downloaded Randy Rogers, and the shit just grew on me. So then from Randy Rogers, I went to Cal Park. I went to Kevin Fowler. These are all red dirt Texas country artists. And if you're from here, you know all those names I just mentioned. But they all started where Bradley started.
And there's a whole different group that are happening right now. You heard me say J.R. Herrera, Hill Country Revival, Chuck Weimer, Chris Salcedo. That man right there in particular, when I first met him, was at the Poorhouse in New Braunfels. We've only talked on Facebook. And I walked up to him and I said, man, I know you. Like, at this time, I could even barely get a gig. And he said, oh, you know what? He played it cool. He said, let's go take a shot. And then we took a shot, and he was like, you know what? Come sing with my band. I thought he was just being nice. He called me on stage at the Poorhouse in New Braunfels. That's
a legit place.
Yeah. He put me on stage. I mean, that how tight, and that's not just country. John Hernandez from Retro Nouveau. He's also a teacher at School of Rock. You can go see him at Pix right now. Well, tomorrow, matter of fact. This guy, he gets mad at me when I say this. Best guitar player in San Antonio. I'll put my paycheck on it, cousin. I mean, this dude's a killer. Anytime I called, anytime I showed up to one of his shows and asked a question, help me.
He help you out.
I mean, and that's the thing that I've really been looking for.
But it goes back to what you said, man. The Lord puts people in your journey for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And those of you that are watching, if you're watching for just music, whatever, but if you're watching to really take something in, like, think about that. How many times do we blow by people?
All the time.
And you really, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if you would have just stopped and gave that person a little bit of attention, you don't know. I have so many friends that the old bumper would have just been like, man, whatever, right? But if you just stop and listen to them, and it goes back to why I do this show, because everybody has a story, man. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a path, and it's different. You know, that's what makes human beings so amazing, is that we're all different. We're all wired differently. We're wired the same, but we think differently, and we all have, different life paths.
One of the best sayings I've ever heard in my life is, it's hard to do it alone, but it's easier to do it together. Period. I mean,
say it one more time. Say it one more time.
It's hard to do it alone, but we can do it together. And what I'm bringing home to Fred Guerra and Rodney Rodriguez. Fred, we went to high school together. We grew up together. We were the Hellions. I mean, we ain't no good. I mean, this man has his own company. Next Gen Oil and Tools. You see it on my hat. First ever 100% biodegradable frac plug. I can go on and on. But
you saw that plug? You saw he plugged them in?
That's that's not the point. Rodney Rodriguez. Double R Construction and Tools. You like that?
Yeah.
But what I'm getting to is, both of these men that knew me, I mean, I just started doing this 6 years ago. They've been friends with me 20 years. And they came up to me, and that's how I got started. Fred and Rodney, brothers, came up to me and made an investment in me. Not a loan, nothing. I didn't even know they were doing it. Here's this. Get you what you need. Make us proud. So to be sitting here and paying it forward, I mean, that's movie shit.
That's badass, man. I mean, this is why I like doing the show, man, because you know, where are you going to hear stuff like this? You know what I mean?
I wish I could make it up. I'm telling you, this couldn't have happened any other way. And it's hard, and that's a hell of a thing for me to say, because I've heard a lot of people that love me. They're watching right now, and I can never make it up to them. I can never say sorry enough. But what I can do is do better going forward. And for them to see me sitting here happy talking to my brother Bumper Gomez with a guitar in my hand, they're probably doing backflip. Well, Mom, no, stay right there, Mom. They're probably doing metaphorical backflips right now.
No, you're right, bro. But you know what I mean? You said it earlier, Bradley. They put those guys in your life for a reason. Yeah. At a point in life where you were scratching your head, like, what are you guys talking about? Take this and run with it. And you did, right? And this is, to me, yeah, you might have been on what you consider a long journey already. But dude, this is a new chapter, bro. This is, you know, I think you're gonna go places. You know what I mean? Maybe one day I turn on a Texas radio station and I hear a song, or I hear say, yeah, that's a new one by Bradley Lindsley. I'm like, yo, I had that dude in my house. He was on my show. You know what I'm saying? That's my gratitude. That's my
pain of
people don't pay to be on the show, and I don't pay. Let me throw that out there. I don't pay anybody to come here and be on the show.
Can you make me a sandwich? I'm hungry. I did a bologna sandwich, Mom, but don't let Dad put mustard on the cheese.
There you go. It
goes on the meat.
Hey, Rodney. Yeah, that's
Rodney Rodriguez right there. Big homie man. Right there, man.
He put the IGY6. And if those of you that don't know, I got your 6, right? That's and so what we mean by that, because I like to explain things, because sometimes we automatically think that people understand that, right? Yeah. I got your 6 means, if you're looking in the military terms, if you're looking at a clock, 12 o'clock is forward, 6 o'clock is backwards. You're back. So I got your 6 means they got your back, no matter what. Definitely. So shout out to Rodney.
But the other thing that... Man, the thing that really trips me out about, you know, like driving up here, you know, it takes me an hour and 40 minutes to get over here from Nell, Texas.
The unofficial mayor.
Yeah. You know, so I was thinking everything was happening, man. And I was texting so many people.
While you were driving, Bradley?
No, Mom, I was pulled over.
He was using the voice.
I was pulled over. Was saying the voice text. God damn, Bumper. But no, before I left, I was talking to, just paying it forward, to the people I've mentioned. And it's just surreal to me that I never thought it would be anything remotely this. I mean, I was just learning the guitar to quiet the mind, Bonfire Rockstar. And then,
I never heard that. That's pretty cool. Bonfire. Dude, I know a shitload of Bonfire rock stars.
I was literally hanging out with J.R. Herrera before I got here. And he had made that comment. He goes, what'd you just say? And I said, Bonfire Rockstar. He goes, dude, that's a song. I said,
dude, right now, right before you said that, I said the same thing.
Music, Sulphur Creek Band, Bumper Gomez.
Yo, that would be a badass song, really, dude. Bonfire Rockstar.
It's crazy. And then there's so many venues out there that, I remember, and this is the thing where I'm at, like, I couldn't get no gigs. Zero. None. I would finally get frustrated, and I guess the term is called busking. I would just show up somewhere, walk in the bar, guitar strap, listen to me, force listening, force music. And that's how I get gigs. By listening, like Towers Tavern in Calallen, they were one.
Hold up, dog. You just said you weren't, like, they didn't hire you. You showed up with a guitar? No.
I would show up, like, and my babe, in mi corazón, Adriana, hey, my love, I would make her come with, I'd be like, babe, you got my back, right? And so we would walk up. So one of the first ones I did, I'd walk in Talbert's Tavern, and one of my good friends. I knew the owner, Amanda. She was friends with my cousin, Misty and Rick Martinez. Hello. So I just walked in there, and the bartender's standing there, and there's like three regulars. No, there's like three regulars. And I walk in with a guitar strap, and they're like, "Who are you? Whoever you want me to be, way." You know, and just start playing. And like this one guy, he said, "Well, play your favorite song." So I played Nutshell by Alice in Chains. That's my favorite song. And he walked up with a tear in his eye and threw $100 bill at my foot. Hey, babe. Babe was on it. She grabbed it. She grabbed that $100.
Rodney Rodriguez said, listening to you practice at the Duck's Nest.
Oh, that was my garage.
Oh, man.
No, but
So Heather, your sister said your first album was Screwed and Chopped.
okay, so I love rap music.
Wait, time out, bro.
I could bust the flow right now. I love rap.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I when I say I do music, I ain't right. I'm left. On time, redneck line. I am that. All of it.
So you could throw a rhyme right now.
Right now.
Okay, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday from the Wacky Wednesday studio in San Antonio, Texas. Texas country music artist Bradley Lindsley is about to flip the
You
script.
really want this smoke?
Again, whatever. I don't care if it's 2-3 lines. You said it. I want to hear this shit. For you to tell me you can rap, I just really, I don't know. It did
All
something
right, let's
to
get
me.
it. Let's get it. No, I ain't scared. There's a whole lot of things I am in my life.
Thank you to your sister Heather for bringing this up. This is really good content for the show for sure.
There's a whole lot of things I am in my life. One of them, ain't scared.
All right, so here we go. Again, live from the Wacky Wednesday studio in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Here we go.
Can you hear that little bee?
I can hear it.
You ready?
I can hear it.
Let's see. I love it when they call me Big Brad, better yet, Big B. Now, player, you try real hard, but you can't beat me. Swingers on my car, bass in the trunk. Try to talk shit, I'll slap you like a punk. So sit down, player, let it chill. Me and Bumper about to blow some... Hey, we better stop because that's... I just realized my daughter's watching.
Yo, this dude
I'm
just
telling
threw
you.
some bars on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Hey, Three Rivers or Nell, Texas, you need to come get this guy and take his ass home right now.
I'm telling you, I can do, like, I just realized, I got scared.
No,
because I
it's-
realized rap, you get a little more vulgar, and I was like, shit. My mom and my daughter is watching. I'm going to be quiet.
No, bro, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man.
That's Wacky Wednesday right
Yeah,
there.
hell yeah. That was straight up
No, but
Wacky Wednesday material right
I
now.
listen to rap music all the time.
That's cool, dude. You know what?
No, but it's Texas, Slim Thug, Lil Flip, Big Pokey, Lil Kiki,
so
Swisha House.
you keep it Texas.
We
Texas,
keep
Texas,
it Texas
right.
all the time.
But you know what? I, when you say that, most of my friends that are artists, a lot of them love another form of music than the music that they play, and I've just come to find that out. Like, a lot of my friends that they love heavy metal first before they are Tejano music artists for some reason, especially drummers. But Bradley, me and you could go on for another 2 hours easily, bro. But I like to keep the show around 2 hours, maybe
Where we at right now?
We're at 1 hour and 50 minutes. It goes by quick when you're having fun.
Well, hey.
But I'm not letting you go.
No,
You know what
I
I
got a
mean?
lot of people to talk about.
Yeah, you do. So, I'm going to give you the mic, and,
Yes,
and
please.
you mention who you
Yes,
want.
no, I got to. Where I left off, Dusty Saddle Saloon. Bree and Daniel cannot tell you the things we've done already, and we're gonna do. Now they're official sponsors of Sulphur Creek Band. That's my band we just started
Sulphur Creek
with an F.
Band.
Don't forget the F. That's Logan Muniz. That is my drummer. There is no Sulphur Creek without me and Logan. That man had to listen when he was hearing that and, making me feel good. And I told him 6 years ago, I said, you know what, cousin? I'm going to figure this out. He said, you know what? I don't doubt you. And
Right.
he's been there from the start. Jay Lewis, we just brought him in. He's our lead guitarist. Man, it's great things. But they have day jobs. So we only get together
So often.
when we can. But I mean, those are good things. The Live Oak County Sports Bar and Grill, Theo Lucio, lets me go in there and do whatever I want. Vasu TR Bar. I mean, I used to play there. He let me spread my wings 6 years ago. I would play the same 10 songs every day, all day, because he let me. And the fact that we're here now, I mean, he's told me for the spark. You know, I learned how to sing karaoke in the military. 22 years old was the first time I've ever sang in public, Folsom Prison Blues. And people said, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then finally I met DJ Big E, Elias, and he's a KJ. He plays at the Steer. Where's that, on the south side, right?
Yeah, on the south side.
Yeah, he was the KJ. I mean, I would follow him everywhere. Alice, Beeville, Pleasanton, Three Rivers, everywhere, and just sing and just sing and just sing. You know, and if it wasn't for all these people helping me, believing in me, encouraging me, would not be here. Would not. And that's what really blows me away. So the thing I do every single time something good happens to me, I pay it forward at least 3 times. And those 3 people are J.R. Herrera, Chuck Weimer, and C.J. Simmons. Every single time I go somewhere, I bring them 3 boys with me. And those 3 boys are better than what I think, better than I ever thought about being. Killers. I mean, break your heart and make you happy all at the same time. And every time I need them guys, they're there. Every single time. And that is how strong the musical brotherhood is, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Bro, I think tonight, you know, you're a well-rounded individual.
Oof, you hear that, Dad? Yeah.
He's a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah.
And I've always loved those 2 sayings, right? He's a jack of all trades and a master of none. But you really showed you showed who Bradley Lindsley is. Like, take away the guitar, right? The dude's a normal guy, bro. He lives his life. You know what I mean? He makes a living going to honky tonks and playing for you guys' entertainment. You know, and if he doesn't have that, well, then
I'm still going to be a good person.
He's still going to be, yeah, exactly. You know, you're still going to be you. You know, you rapped like,
hey,
totally.
I sang.
No, bro.
Signal.
Oh shit! Now we better stop now. So, but you know what? It really showed me something. I had you in this box, and when you said I love rap music and you can rap, you literally broke that box apart. I'm like, shit. I can't put this dude. I can't put this dude. I can't put nothing around him.
Nobody puts baby
in the corner, man. But Bradley, dude, it's been like a roller coaster. I think the show we literally could do it 3-4 hours easily.
Oh, easy.
With content.
Oh,
but
man.
I try to keep the shows around 2 hours, 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. But my thing is that you drove an hour and 40 minutes to come sit here and tell just a tiny, minute. See,
yeah.
Big.
¿Cómo que minute?
I know, a minute part of his life, and what makes him, what makes him smile, what doesn't.
Yeah.
And we could have gone way deeper into the whole PTSD and family living and stuff, but it's wacky, bro. I jump all over the place.
You had a country dude freestyling.
Exactly, man. We had a country dude freestyling on Wacky Wednesday, dude. I want to say that tonight was a very, very different for me. And I say different because usually when I have an artist, especially like lately, I've been doing a lot of Tejano artists, Conjunto artists, I'm very comfortable. I'm comfortable in that realm. I know it. I breathe it. I know the history behind it. And not that I don't know about country music, but Bradley Lindsley, we physically have only hung out maybe one time. The rest
for like
has been
2 seconds.
Yeah, for 2 seconds. And, you know, but I got to hear him sing and I heard the passion in his voice. And then when I heard some of the songs that he was singing, I could freaking relate.
Yeah.
And I could relate like really, 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 really relate.
I like that.
And it drew me to him. And so, you know, when I saw the restaurant there looking for a singer, he's the first guy that popped in my head, right?
It's great.
And the Lord put him in my path, just like the Lord put me in his path. And I'm gonna work on diversifying the show here in the coming months, and kind of just do anything. And if you're watching for the first time, you know, go to YouTube, look up Bumper Gomez, like, subscribe, and share. All my shows are on there. This show will be on there by tonight, or if not, first thing in the morning. The show will be on YouTube, and Bradley be able to share with whoever he wants to. But literally, the show is really about just people's lives, man, and their path.
I like that.
And I keep pushing that, because I come to a point in the show where Bradley, listening to the lyrics of a song that you wrote, right?
Yeah.
A song that he wrote.
Well, you listen to Sobering Up.
Sobering Up was
That's my heart beats in that one.
Dude.
I had to have Brandon Ford, matter of fact, shout out to him. I had to have my buddy do vocals. That's too painful for me to sing. I've lost and hurt a lot of things over that.
I think a lot of people could relate to that song. But don't look up Brad if you're looking for it on iTunes or on Apple Music. Is there not iTunes? No, my kids always make fun of me
all
when
digital
I say
formats.
all digital platforms. The name to look up is
Redneck Line, all one word. Redneck Line Line. So when I do collaborations, I make it difficult. So Redneck Line, Sobering Up, and then if you want to hear Quicksand, that's Bradley Lindsley. So, but that's all about to be right here in the nest here real soon. Or, matter of fact, tomorrow I have a show.
Where's your show at tomorrow?
In Pleasanton, Texas. Stand up.
Cowboy country,
Stand
boy.
up. Pleasanton, Texas. Laura.
Birthplace of the Cowboy?
Yes. Laura's the manager. Misty is the owner. Real great people. We've been talking on and off and doing some great things. Urban Bricks Pizza.
Oh, that pizza's bomb, bro.
6 to 9, on time, with your boy. Come see me. I'll put something on you. Soap and water can't take off.
Did they give you free pizza?
No, straight up.
No
Bumper,
free pizza.
The first time I met him, you know, and if you can't tell, I ain't right. I'm left. You know, I sat in there and, you know, and did my thing, and they made me feel like family. And that's really the most important thing to me. Like, there's only two things I care about. You make me feel good, and you cook with love. If you ain't cooking, dude, as my mom said, if you ain't cooking with love, you gots to go.
You gotta go.
Gots to go. And definitely, if it's got calories, you just break it like this, and you just dump it, and then put it and eat it. Right, Mom?
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, this dude's straight South Texas, man. If you want to know what it's like to live in South Texas, right here to my left, you're right. Bradley has just hit the nail on the head all night of what I grew up with here. You know, my taste of Caucasian people in this world.
I make people say it with the W. Put the stank on it. I'm güero. I ain't white. There's a difference. Que está pasando?
So Bradley, to end the show, man, which song would you like to play?
I do Quicksand.
So Quicksand is a song that veterans can definitely relate to. Quicksand is a song it's the song that I was telling you about, that when you hear the lyrics, it'll slap you in the face. It's kind of raw. It's kind of rough. Not rough in a musical sense, rough in a life sense.
This song is not happy.
You know, so, you know, I want to thank Bradley for driving, for coming and hanging out with Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, and you know, sharing just again a minute part of his book, right? Not even a full chapter, man. We just got through the preface, I think. You know, and the guy is amazing. If you guys are tuning in on Bradley's behalf, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for taking the time and listening to two South Texans talk on a internet show for 2 hours, or if you were on and off, whatever. Don't hate you. But you know, Bradley, thank you so much, dude, for being who you are. And before I just thought of something. Guess what? I forgot to do.
What?
Your boy Joey Morin. I forgot to do that.
Joey Morin.
Yeah, I forgot to do the hat giveaway.
Do it.
So I'm giving away. Let me grab it.
Oh, while you're doing that, like I said, there's so many people out there that have helped me. If I forgot you, it's not because I don't love you. It's a structured show and my first time, and I love you, and you know who you are.
So for the record, this is Bradley Lindsay's first podcast. This
I've never been live in my life.
You know, radio shows are one thing.
That might be incorrect, but I mean, I am live, but I've never done this before. You know, so.
So tonight, man. As I said earlier, I almost forgot. I'm glad that I didn't forget. This is a new sponsor of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, and I'm gonna take my headphones off and I'm gonna walk so you can kind of take a look here. How's it look on there? You see it?
You look pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Joe's. Yeah.
Joe's Hat Company is a new sponsor for Wacky Wednesday, and you know, I told. They're actually working on some hats for the show. So I'll be having some Wacky Wednesday hats here pretty soon for sale. So those of you that dig the show, I do have hats, and I still have T-shirts, man. I don't have a T-shirt here, but I do have the Loteria style Bumpers Wacky Wednesday T-shirt. So if you want one of those, yeah, I
like to do
I got
the
you.
voices behind it too.
This is the hat that we're giving away today, right? And I usually use the guests that I have. They usually come up with a question or a way to get to give away.
Put me in, coach. I throw strikes.
There you go. Look, somebody put enjoyed your show, Bumper. Love you, Chingos, Bradley. That's badass. That was Amarisa Munoz.
That's Tia. That's a big shout out to Tia Marisa. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for letting me come over and hang out for a little bit before I got here.
Yeah, thank you. Because if not, he would have been over here driving me crazy for the last.
Thank you, Tia. Rest in peace, Theo Bam Bam.
So, we want to give away, before we play Quicksand, I want Bradley to come up with shit.
I got it. Put me in. I'm good on the fly.
Okay, so
come on with it.
For the viewers that we do have, we're gonna give away this cap, and if you are selected the winner, if you know Bradley personally or you know me personally, and if you don't, you just happen to skip and run into the show this evening. Thank you for watching.
It's gonna be a movie quote question.
Yeah, you can message me on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday page through Messenger and send me your name and your address, and I will definitely get this in the mail to you.
Are you ready?
ASAP, bro.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. What's the question?
I'm going to say a quote from a movie, and all I need you to do is text Bumper and tell me what the title of the movie is.
Don't text me. Comments on the comments here.
Take it back. Comment right now. Are you ready?
For the cap.
For the cap.
I know what's coming. I think I know what's coming.
Well, you know what they say. Stars don't fall out of the sky.
There's the quote.
There's the quote. I can give you one more. That's pretty vague. I'll give you one more. If your knowledge ain't on our time, I'll give you one more. $500 in prizes. You tell me. You comment what that should tell you right there. If you comment what that movie is, and
you're gonna win yourself a Joe's Hat Company cap coming your way.
I won.
So again,
$500 in prizes.
Oh, there she is.
Who's it?
Lori Garcia, La Bamba.
Why is it gotta be about Richie?
Oh man! And right close behind him was David Reese. So let's see.
Yeah. I like it.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Look behind the wall now. You see everything behind you. That's all La Bamba.
I'm a huge La Bamba fan. So shout out to Lori Garcia, winner of the Joe's Hat Company hat new sponsor Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. You can find him at joeshatco.com. He has all kinds of cool hats. Check him out. And if you're a company and you're looking to spread your love to people and promote your company, your band, your individuality, whatever it is.
That's a nice way to say crazy.
There you go. Hit me up. Let me know, and I will get you in contact with my buddy Joey Morin and Joe's Hat Company. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Lori for winning the cap and knowing her movies. So Lori, send me again your name and your address. There he goes. He's keeping it rolling. So again, we're gonna end the show. I'm gonna say good night to everybody. And I'm gonna say thank you to Bradley. Thank you, bro. Thank you so freaking much, dude, for coming and being the first Texas country music artist in over a year. Of all the guests I've had, he's the first country artist that I've ever had on the show, and it was amazing. Again, I was uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable. I got very comfortable.
Usually when it's uncomfortable, it's right.
No. But what I was saying earlier, like, it's not my realm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not my realm. And if you're watching for the first time and you're like, hey, the guy I don't have a script. There's no screen. There's no nothing. I just shoot from the hip is what I call it. And, that's what makes it wacky. That's what I love about doing the show. So all you guys that were tuning in, again, on Bradley's behalf, thank you so much. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday. You'll never know what you're going to get. I got all kinds of different walks of life. And, if we can grab a musician, we'll grab a musician. I love talking music. So again, my guest tonight was Mr. Bradley Lindsley. I'm going to give him the mic one more time. And we're going to end the show with this amazing, touching song that could touch every veteran to his core or her core. Bradley?
Thank you so much for having me, Bumper, man. It's so glad to meet you. I'm glad I met you when I was supposed to meet you. So I really appreciate you having me out here. Big shout out to my sponsors, Fred Garrett, Fred and Dane, Next Gen Oil and Tools, Dusty Saddle Saloon, Bree, Daniel, Rodney Rodriguez, Double R Construction, and 90 Transport. Matt Muniz, Ellie Muniz, thank you so much. My mother and father, I couldn't do without you. My daughter, I love you so much. Adriana at home, I already told him, don't feel sorry for me, feel sorry for her. She's the one that has to deal with it all the time. So this song right here is Quicksand. What's it gonna take to keep this wild side from creeping up on me? It seems like when things are at its best, hand pulls me back, you see. Maybe it's just the way I am, or life's got it out for me. And all's I know, I'm tired of fighting this monster inside of me. 5 days drunk hurts like a bitch, trying to be a man. My old lady looking at me crooked, wondering what's my plan. And I'm just gonna drink this beer till she understands. How do I tell the people I love I'm sinking in quicksand? Times I wonder where I went wrong and if it'll ever change. Sometimes I remember if I disappeared, my friends remember my name. Every time I look in the mirror, feel so damn ashamed. It's hard to believe the person I see has got my same damn name. Five days drunk hurts like a bitch, trying to be a man. An old lady looking at me crooked, wondering what's my plan. And I'm just gonna drink this beer till she understands. How do I tell the people I love I'm sinking in quicksand? Thank you so much.
That was Mr. Bradley Lindsley on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Thank you guys for another great show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in every single Wednesday at 7:30. And if you love tonight, this is what we bring to the table. Bradley, again, man, I wish you nothing but the best. If you guys see him so at your local honky tonks, at your local restaurants,
Pleasanton, Texas, Urban Bricks tomorrow.
Make sure you walk by that tip jar and you drop something in there.
Just a tip.
Right? The more the merrier. And you know what I'm saying, Bradley, I wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure that your future is bright. And thank you for what you do for veterans, dude. And that's not said enough. And I don't want to go into a whole nother
we'll go
part of the show,
2 hours.
But I want to say thank you for making music, because sometimes music is the only way we can express ourselves. In a sense, you can express yourself, right? What you've been through, but it also helps veterans to like cope with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, to all the artists out there that make songs that are veterans that are saving lives, really, that's a perfect way to put it. You're saving lives. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7:30, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Make sure you tune in. Thank you, Bradley. Thank you so much. Live Oak County, B County, Bear County, wherever you're watching from, all over the United States. Thank you. Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. We'll see y'all.